All right, let's talk about something huge happening down in Aotearoa, New Zealand. They are rolling out one of the most ambitious urban planning reforms anywhere in the world. Seriously, it's a total system overhaul, and it's inspired by a model that's been working incredibly well in Japan for decades. We're going to break it all down by looking at the four key facts, the foundational pillars that are set to completely reshape the nation's cities. For years, the country's growth looked a lot like the image on the left. Just a tangled, reactive, and pretty chaotic mess. The new way, what you see on the right, is all about being standardized, predictable, and orderly. The Aotearoa Planning Bill 2025 isn't just another law. You got to think of it as a complete operating system upgrade, one designed for green resilience from the ground up. So, to really get why this new system is such a big deal, we first need to look at what was so broken about the old one. The old system, which was run by something called the Resource Management Act, or RMA, had created this state that planners have a great name for: gray inertia. Now, what's so perfect about this term, gray inertia, is that it just nails the problem. It was this vicious cycle of bureaucratic stagnation that led to messy, car-dependent sprawl. And all of this created a massive regulatory debt, not just in dollars, but in wasted infrastructure and these endless, subjective legal fights that just paralyzed any real progress.
Okay, so this is the crucial point. It's a fundamental shift in philosophy. The old way was a culture of permission, where you basically had to ask for everything, and that led to subjective, totally unpredictable decisions. The new way? It's a culture of adherence. If you follow the clear, standardized rules, you can build. Simple as that. It's a move from an unpredictable art to an objective science.
And that brings us to the solution, the Aotearoa Planning Bill 2025. The best way to think about it is like installing a single, standardized national code base for the entire country, just wiping the slate clean of decades and decades of fragmented, inefficient, and contradictory rules.
Get this. Under the old system, Aotearoa was a patchwork of over 1,175 different local zones. It was a true postcode lottery where the rules could change dramatically just by crossing the street. The new system replaces all of that mind-boggling complexity with this: around 20 national standardized zones. That's it. Just that one change creates this massive sense of certainty and efficiency for pretty much everyone: developers, councils, and communities.
This quote from the planning documents really gets to the heart of it all. This isn't just about a new set of rules. It's about installing a whole new DNA for how you build a city. And that DNA is built on four core principles, or as we're calling them, pillars.
So let's look at how this new system is built. It's founded on four pillars, and these act as the ethical and legal source code for the entire reform. They're actually adapted directly from Japan's incredibly successful land use law from back in 1974, and they're all designed to put the collective good first.
And this image just illustrates the whole framework perfectly at a glance. You've got public welfare, natural resource preservation, healthy living, and balanced development. Let's quickly unpack what each of these actually means in the real world.
Pillar 1 is the prime directive. It's the big one. Public welfare is supreme. This is a radical shift. It legally establishes that the health, safety, and efficiency of the entire community comes before the speculative interests or property rights of any single person. In short, the common good is now hard-coded as the #1 priority.
The second pillar is natural resource preservation. See, under the old system, the environment was often just a consideration, something to be balanced against development. This pillar says, nope, not anymore. It sets hard, non-negotiable ecological limits. It treats productive land and nature as the finite, absolutely essential assets they are. Third, we have healthy and cultural living. And this isn't just some nice-to-have, feel-good idea. It's a legal mandate. The system requires that cities are actively designed to support our well-being. This means legally guaranteeing things like access to sunlight, clean air, and green space, making sure that even as cities get denser, they don't crush the human spirit.
And the final pillar is balanced development. This hard-codes an infrastructure-first approach. It's so simple, but so powerful. Growth can only happen where the pipes, roads, and transit are already planned or being built. This is the mechanism that's designed to stop chaotic, unsurfaced sprawl once and for all. So with that philosophical DNA in place, how does it all actually work on the ground? Well, the system uses some incredibly clever and pretty simple tools to turn these pillars into a reality. The most powerful tool is probably this concept of the urban dam. It's a great metaphor. It treats the pressure for urban growth like water in a hydraulic system, something that has to be contained and channeled properly. The entire country's land is sorted into a simple binary switch. You're either open for development or you are not.
And this is how it works. The Urbanization Promoting Area, or UPA, is the reservoir. It's a designated area for systematic growth over a 10-year horizon where infrastructure gets prioritized. Everything else, that's in the Urbanization Control Area, the UCA, which acts like a stop valve. Development is basically prohibited in principle there, which protects all that rural land.
Now, to make sure these cities are actually livable, the system uses the 330-300 rule. It's a beautifully simple mandate for green infrastructure. It says every home must be able to see at least 3 trees. Every neighborhood must have 30% tree canopy cover, and every single resident must live within 300 meters of a park. Simple, right?
Finally, there's the newcomer principle. It's such a simple, fair rule for sorting out land use conflicts. If you move next to an existing farm or factory, you are the newcomer. And that means you are responsible for mitigating any noise or smell, not the other way around. It basically ends the right to complain and protects those vital economic engines.
So when you put all of these pieces together, the pillars and the tools, what kind of city does this new blueprint actually create? What's the intended outcome here? The vision is for a city that is clear, fair, and predictable. You get a hard urban edge where the city definitively stops and the country begins. Along transit lines, you get a dense hard shell of apartments and businesses, and inside the neighborhoods, a greener, more livable soft core, all while crucial industries are protected in their own defined zones. So to sum it all up, the key shifts are really these. You move from a system of subjective permission to one of objective adherence. Growth now follows infrastructure, not the other way around, which prevents sprawl. Public health and resilience are hard-coded into the system. And maybe most importantly, everyone, from homeowners to big developers, gets legal certainty. So the blueprint provides a strong, reliable structure, the skeleton, you could say, and the standardized national rules provide the DNA. But the final question, the big one, is this. With the new operating system in place, how will the unique spirit and culture of Aotearoa's many different communities flourish and express themselves within this new code?